Alright, welcome back, boys. Welcome back. We're here to make another video. Playing an out-of-date grindy clicker game and making that already grindy game even grindier without using a bank. Now, as I repeatedly bring up when talking about my playstyle, the goal with OSRS is almost always to play the game as much as possible while also playing the game as little as possible. It's a second monitor game. I'm always logged in, but the goal is usually to be doing an activity that doesn't require my full attention. And as you can see on screen, the latest and greatest manifestation of this overarching goal is killing Dagonoths in the Catacombs of Kourend. There's a few things that make this good. Firstly, I needed the combat XP. For a while there, my melee stats were lagging quite far behind magic and range. That is now well on the way to being fixed. 98 strength. Stopped just short of getting the 99 to hold the untrimmed rune crafting cape a little while longer. 90 attack, working towards 90 defense. And with 96 hit points, I'm getting to be quite a beefy boy. And I'm actually at the stage of the account where I can start going for some PVM content, as well as doing some of the Grandmaster quests, and it would be nice to have the combat stats to go along with that. It's also actually pretty good XP per hour. I mean, the defense levels on the Dagonoths are almost non-existent, meaning you hit hard and hit often. There's almost never any downtime. Because unlike when you AFK on the Almanac crabs, you're sometimes waiting for new ones to respawn. But here, these fleshy grey dinosaur things are constantly gangbanging you from all sides in vast numbers, and you're almost always in combat. And it is also AFK as fuck. I mean, I've got an enormous prayer bonus with full proselyte, wearing a holy symbol. I've got the blessing equipped in the ammo slot. Prayer drains very, very slowly. And then on top of that, I've also got the Bone Crusher, which is a reward you get from the Mauritania achievement diaries. And when it's in your inventory, charged with ecto tokens, it automatically buries the bones of anything you kill. Usually that's normally just like a minor convenience, quality of life thing. But in the Catacombs, it actually makes a huge difference because every bone you bury restores a little bit of prayer. That's one thing that makes it very good for Slayer. And so you've got the effect of being in the Catacombs in combination with the Bone Crusher. It means you're automatically almost always getting a little bit of prayer regen while you're training. And I mean, if you've got an overhead prayer like Protect from Melee Up, you'll start slowly draining more prayer than you restore, and you'll have to recharge eventually, so it's not everlasting. But this usually lasts longer than the 10-minute aggression timer that most NPC monsters will attack you for when you're auto-retaliating. So if you really want, and you're not fussed about picking up any of the items, you only really need to click a few times every 10 minutes or so to restore your prayer at the player-owned house, and then run back into place. And then the third reason this is good is the drops that you can get. And now, if you're a main account, the Dragonoth drop table probably holds little interest to you beyond the occasional Snapdragon seed. But if you're an Iron Man, especially an Iron Man looking to start doing consistent farm runs and train up Herblore, these drops are very, very nice. Unlike a lot of the mains, I'm actually creaming my pants over the sight of an Irrit seed or a Quam seed or a Snapegrass seed. And even better, as you may or may not know, as an Ultimate Iron Man, I cannot use the bank or trade other players. And so I was able to get the seed box that you get from doing some Tithe farm. not a terrible grind. It takes around a couple of hours, but it's incredibly useful because it can hold up to 6 different types of seeds. They also drop medium clues, which again, there's nothing I'm really looking for from clues, but it would be nice long term to get a full vestment set of any god. And that leads actually to the next thing that I wanted to talk about, which is the absolutely cracked RNG I've had on the account with getting spoon-fed drops over the past couple of weeks. I mean, firstly, there was the bottomless compost bucket from Hespori, which is very useful to have just for farming. It's a nice quality of life thing, especially now that I am starting to take herb runs and do them more often. Then, the big one was we got the Ranger boots from Medium Clues. It's probably the biggest drop I've ever gotten on the account in terms of GE value. It's over 30 mil. The storable and the POH. It's very nice to get. It's not absolutely massive since I already had Blessed D'hide, which is pretty comparable. The D'hide's also storable. It has slightly less range bonus, but it also has a small prayer bonus. So it's not even 100% obvious which is better. I mean, and a lot of the value from Ranger Boots comes from their ability, or your ability rather, to upgrade them into Caucasian boots once you start doing Cerberus. I'm not going to be doing that for a while, and even when I can, I'm not 100% sure I'd want to, because once you upgrade the Ranger boots, that would mean they're no longer storable. Being able to store items on a UIM is a massive, massive deal, as you're aware. Or maybe you're not. I cannot use the bank. Anyway, I'll worry about that when the time comes. I'm certainly not complaining. The Ranger boots are very nice to get. And considering I've only done a couple of 100 clues, it's also incredibly lucky to get them at this stage of the account. I'm aware a lot of Iron Man go a lot drier than that ones. Also from the Med Clues was the Holy Sandals. They're also quite rare and expensive. Actually, in the here and now, they're probably even more useful than the Ranger boots, as I can actually use them as part of the prayer setup while I'm training up melee stats on the Dagonoths. I got a second pair of manacles as well. Couldn't really do much with them. I already got a pair a little while ago, and you can't store dupes. I ended up dropping them for a cute noob who was woodcutting near the Draenor village bank. And then finally, and coolest and most spoon-fed of all, we got the friggin' farming pet when we were just checking our mahogany trees. The little Tangle Root, the Marvel ripoff. It's probably the rarest skilling pet out of all of them, and we just nabbed it at level 88 farming. It's the third pet on the account, fourth if you count the pet rock, which I do, so this is pet number 4. The only downside to getting it this early probably is that farming is one of my favourite skills in the game, and it's also a very necessary skill on Iron Man. So now we're going to be doing loads and loads more farming, and we've already peaked. There's nothing left to look forward to. Yeah, I was also very, very happy with that one. Anyway, this was just a shorter update video to talk about the latest developments in Dagonoth killing tech, and all the undeserved clue score route. Good things ahead as we continue to level up the account, so look forward to that. Thank you to anyone who watched, and I will see you in the next one.